You're listening to LibraryCast, your library podcast with me, Jeremy Thompson-Smith, Somerset Library's outreach officer for the Mendips, bringing to you Libraries from Home. On this week's LibraryCast, we welcome local group, The Portraits, that features Jeremy and Lorraine Millington from Somerset. Welcome to LibraryCast. You've got a new single. Tell us a little bit about the song, because it is very much a song for our current lockdown times, isn't it? What inspired you to write the song, and tell us how you made the song and the video.
It started from a conversation I had with a friend of ours called Rachel. We thought, like a lot of musicians have now done, we thought we'll do some online concerts and we'll do regular online concerts and try and keep our profile there. And I kind of put this idea out there with a few friends online. And one friend, Rachel, said, because she works in the NHS, she said, one of the most important things I think you could do at the moment as the Portraits is to be upbeat. Now, we've always had an upbeat side. We've had a sort of slightly more questioning side where we deal with some slightly nitty-gritty subjects and painful things. But she said, focus on your upbeat. And when it came to writing a song, we thought we need to do something that kind of soothes the uncertainty that we're all going through. We thought, let's write a very simple, upbeat, sing-along kind of song that has a very simple message at its heart. Don't worry, we will get through this. We sent out a backing track and a score. When the results started to come in and I started to piece them together, I suddenly went, oh, wow. Okay, this is even better than I hoped.
And I think what was really nice about it was nobody made an effort, because I don't think when I say kind of like visually, people just were very natural, because this is what Jeremy said. You know, we are in confinement. Just to actually allow yourself to be as you are. So I think everybody just kind of thought, I'm going to do that now. Just press record or whatever. Played. And what was quite funny was they thought that Jeremy was just going to use the bits that they played on, didn't know. So one of the lads is like just playing away, and the next thing you can see him looking at his watch.
It's all very natural. It's meant to be that way.
And I didn't even know Jeremy had the video on me. When I was recording the song, I was just, and that's why you can just see the hair on Dawn.
It's warts and all.
I asked Jeremy and Lorraine from The Portraits about their collaborations with students from the Wells Blues School, and I asked them if they featured on their new Don't Worry single.
They do.
They do. In fact, actually, our daughter goes to the blues school, Kira. She's playing viola. And then, of course, we did a song, Except for Me, on our last album, For Our Times, which includes, Flora on harp. And then we've got another song, For Our Times, which has got Sam on flute, Lara on cello, got Bryn on saxophone. Do you know, I have to say, the blues school, the talent that comes out of there, and of course I've got to know them through my daughter, and they are a really lovely tight-knitted community of very talented children, starting, my daughter's 14 right up to A level, and it's a strong art department run by Jenny Henderson. And the school has got, and this is a very important thing to say, is that the Blue School supports the arts. In a state school, this is extremely rare, I'm sorry to say, but it's gone like that because they're the expensive subjects to run. So she's lucky to be in that school at the moment for that. She's passionate about music here. So and we're very, very lucky to have them to be,
full of talent.
And they love having a stage to perform, and we didn't have any rejections, should we say.
How important is music to well-being and performing music?
A very wise man, friend of mine, said to me once, if a child has a passion, they will not have a worry in the world. Because I think when you do have a passion or something to escape to, especially in times of trouble, whether that's teenage years with the complexity of teenagers these days, social media, mental anxiety pressures from the stressful curriculum, I think to be able to embrace yourself into a cocoon of creativity that allows you to just be yourself and not having to live up to any other expectation. And through the arts, you can do this. And I think it's extremely important for children of the Blue School, whether that is just completely kind of creativity even, you know, sand art, whether it's just any kind of form of making, but just getting out of the everyday pressure, and art allows that. I'm a great believer in that for mental stress and breathing, just giving that brain some rest.
The confidence and the kind of self-belief and all of those kinds of things, I think, come primarily from the arts side, from music, from performance, from theatre.
So it's all just over a year ago where we were honoured, delighted to welcome you to Cheddar Library for our library open day there. What's your recollections of that day in March in 2019?
It was a very special day, Jem, and we were very grateful. I think it was probably our first actual performance in our new home area, having moved to Wells only a year or so before that. And we'd taken a while to kind of carefully select where we would play first, you know, and a lot of our new friends that we'd made in Wells were sort of saying, are you going to play in this area? And we'd kind of just held it back a little bit. So it was our very first little performance. And it was lovely to find a crowd of appreciative people that were interested in hearing about stories behind songs.
How's your creativity music-wise at the moment?
It's very tricky. It's very tricky. And whenever I say it's tricky, I always have to put a caveat into that to say we feel incredibly lucky to be who we are and in the life that we are, because there's an awful lot of people who are truly suffering through this period, and I think there's probably a very difficult patch ahead of us all after this. But in terms of our own creativity, it's been up and down, and I think it's a practical thing, actually, more than anything. It is practical
because we've got children, and because we've got children, they're at home with us 24/7.
And like so many up and down the country, we are doing the homeschooling thing, and that takes, you know, it takes quite a lot of effort and time to get it right, you know. And we're not people that sort of obsessively say we must follow the curriculum, we must do this.
But we do the 2 hours in the morning, so our mornings are consumed by that, and we each kind of take our role. When
we create the next new thing, it's likely to be upbeat, hopeful, and hopefully a lift. That's the way I feel anyway at the moment. We would love to do a performance of the song with all the musicians from the Blue School, and I should also mention the Skylarks Choir, who are Somerset based near Wells, and they took part in the song as well. So they're some of the voices that come in at the end. I mean, their part, as far as I'm concerned, just adds the most beautiful icing at the end of it. So we'd love to have them on board, and they're already saying, yes, we're ready.
There is a wonderful venue just up the road in Wells at Wells Library. We will make that a date when we...
Yes, that would be fabulous.
Sounds ideal.
We will return. We are not suited to this, and now we search our souls as we bide our time. Here alone, locked down, no guilty of no crime. We're not walls and fences, we don't suit exile. We work best together, this is not our style. Don't worry, all that's good and open and free and kind. Now we yearn, these things are who we are, they will return. But there's a bigger picture now. There is so much we fail to see. Here alone, we've more power of connectivity than throughout our lifetimes. Far from cutting ties, we'll link in our millions to share the gift of life. Don't worry, all that's good and open and free and kind. Now we yearn, these things are who we are. They
listening to LibraryCast, brought to you by Somerset Libraries, bringing to you Libraries from Home.